Next, in our Founder Feel series, we will discuss how we prepare for investor outreach. And this is coming immediately after we built our list of investors in Crunchbase. So we just did goal number one, and next we will prioritize targets and strategize outreach. And in the third video of this series, we'll talk about how we automate some of the process and really focus on the high value activities. So mainly here, we'll be looking at LinkedIn to identify our connection paths to target investors and Seamless AI to source contact information. Again, we're focusing this process to be as lean as possible. There are maybe more expensive tools that, such as ZoomInfo. Seamless AI is much more cheap. So we'll run through those today. So here you can see the list of funds we built in Crunchbase in our last video. Crunchbase allows you to export those, so I have those now in Excel here. Next thing I'm going to do before identifying contacts and connection paths is just take a quick pass. I mean, we only have 98 funds here. Since again, Crunchbase is a bit imperfect, the investment stage we looked at applied to the fund owner level. So you can see that this specific fund's name, row 2 here, is probably not relevant to a Series A company. So based off of fund name, we could look at specific keywords that kind of trick us off, but I'm going to go through and delete a couple of these manually from our list. So I just went through this list manually. We're now down to 67 funds. And next we will go and try and identify some target contacts from each of these funds. So we will go over to seamless.ai. So now you can see we are in a contact research tool called seamless.ai. I did take just a sample of, let's say, 10 funds from our list of 67, just for simplicity. Yeah, the process would be the exact same for all funds, but essentially what I did here is added each fund as a company, and then set a bunch of negative keywords. We don't want anyone from IT, human resources, engineering, operations, or legal. I eliminated some titles that contain like very, very senior level people or people in finance, just because some people tagged with finance could be in the investment side. So I didn't want to exclude all of them. And now we have over 100 potential results from this. So from here, this list looks relatively good. Maybe we want to add a negative filter for investor relations, just because I see that one. Again, nothing's going to be perfect. You definitely want to take a look at even after you do this process. So I'm going to find contact information for all these folks. So now that we have some contacts, I went ahead and exported some of these. Again, if you're doing a process like this multiple times, it probably makes sense to have some sort of data ETL process with filters kind of preset for this. But given we're just building one investor list, it makes sense to kind of just do this manually. So I'd say this looks decent. Again, it's not going to be perfect from the contact research tool. I still want to go through this manually, and I'm going to pause the video and kind of go through it and then come back and describe what I did. So I went through and did a bunch of things here. You can see we only have a pretty small list now. It is best in Seamless to import the company's website URL rather than the name. I did the name earlier so that I could potentially help get better results in the future. But just for the sake of this exercise, we do have a solid list now. Essentially what I went through is did some more filtering based off of title, eliminated some contacts that were located internationally, and again, a few that were from similar company names, but for some reason showed up in our search. And again, the website URL column E is best to look at in Seamless. So now we have phone numbers, emails, and LinkedIn's. For some of these relevant contacts we want to go after. Email, I always like to use a third-party verifier, such as Zero Bounce, to verify emails before sending to anyone. And yeah, next we will look at identifying connection paths in LinkedIn, since especially larger funds, which these are, source a lot of their deals through their network and warm intros. So we want to identify how, if at all, we are connected to these folks. So I will see you at the LinkedIn step. So our final step here is on LinkedIn, mainly identifying connection paths we have towards the target firms, target funds we're looking at, as well as the people we identified. But the first approach really can even ignore the step of seamless. It can go straight from our list of target investors and target funds. We could just add these straight to LinkedIn Sales Navigator and filter by second connections. I'll show you how to do that here. So I'll do Cotu, for example. We will do Box Group. And then we can see first and second degree connections at these firms. And you can select and add these to specific lists. And you see specific people who could potentially make intros. That's a great strategy that even ignores all the contact research we did in Seamless. The second approach would be adding in specific people into here that we identified in Seamless, such as these folks, and seeing exactly what types of connections we have to them before proceeding with cold outreach to them. I personally like the first approach, which is the one you see here. And I think it makes it really efficient. And again, warm intros work really well. And it comes back to also making sure your LinkedIn network is high quality as well. So that's how we prepare for outreach. Yeah, we'll see you for the next video.